Fallout, a game for gamers, by gamers. Made at a time before Todd Howard and 16 times the detail, it just works. Set in a post-apocalyptic America in Southern California after the US and China tore at each other's throats over resources such as food, water, and oil. You are a basement dweller shut-in, sent out into the new world by your overseer to find a new water chip because someone decided it was a good idea to bust it down sexual style on the old one. Fight and explore this wasteland in order to restore water to your vault and help your people survive. There's the option to choose between 3 presets or create your very own vault dweller. You are a very special boy, and this special system acts as your main stats. Strength is for Sigma Chads, increasing carry weight and allowing you to use bigger and better guns. These weapons can be used without the strength requirement, but you suffer a 20% accuracy deduction for each point of strength you're missing due to being a beta cuck. Perception. This affects things like turn order and, most importantly, ranged weapon accuracy. A low perception means you are an unaware mole and can't hit a rat staring at your toes. It also affects your ability to detect traps. However, I never used this because traps are only prevalent in one area at the end game, and I had such good equipment I just ran over and triggered every single one without breaking a sweat. Endurance lets you survive getting ass blasted by increasing your HP and your healing rate while you stare at walls waiting for time to pass. This also raises poison and radiation resistances, but these aren't that important. Charisma is useless. Everything you could want from the charisma stat can instead be put to better use in the speech secondary stat or intelligence primary stat, so just raise those instead. Intelligence is one of the most important stats, especially for dialogue choices. If you have an intelligence score below 4, you become literally special and no one wants to talk to you, even treating you like a wild beast. You become so dumb that you have to find all locations yourself because you can't ask anyone for directions. The only way for you to talk to anyone while having a low intelligence is to use mentats. If you have 1 intelligence, you'd have to use 2 mentats to actually have enough intelligence to hold a basic conversation. Only on drugs can you talk to people and gather information. Otherwise, a lot of them are just super openly hostile towards you.
Get your butt in here and sit down. We got some business to discuss. Get out of here, you idiot!
Why do you disturb an elder of the cathedral? How dare you speak to me in that manner? You will be punished for your insolence. Guards!
Like all of a sudden I'd be trying to prove that I'm not crazy when I knew I wasn't crazy.
Right. In fact, in my first playthrough of Fallout was on a 1 intelligence unarmed character, and I did not know you had to be your average Philly resident living on the streets fent folding to talk to people. So when my tarred wrangler let me out of the vault, I did not make many friends. I instead made everyone around me angry that they were dealing with an underdeveloped oxygen thief. Agility increases action points, which are required for combat and measure how many times you can shoot a target and tactically retreat. Luck increases your chance to critically strike a target and can influence the outcome of certain random events out in the world, such as coming across the Nuka-Cola truck. A higher luck means more bottle caps, and these caps allow for the purchase of highly volatile weaponry. A fair trade if you ask me. Combat works in a turn-based system, and generally if you initiate combat, you get to attack first. And the same, however, goes for enemies. You have a certain amount of action points based on your agility, so use your action points wisely to decisively win every fight. It's as Sun Tzu detailed himself in The Art of War: shoot that shit and run. This causes the enemy great confusion and will result in them attacking less often, having to use their AP to chase rather than attack. unless you're out in the open and they have guns. Then they can and will snipe you half across the map, and it doesn't matter if it's a 12 gauge shotgun or minigun, they will get you. So how do you prevent this? Better armor. Armor is a huge factor on how many times you can get shot and live. There is no real penalty for using heavier armor other than its weight, so make sure you swap that shit out. There is also the option to choose between 6 fighting styles: unarmed, melee weapons, small guns, big guns, energy weapons, and throwing. You can choose to aim your shots at any body part. I found that the most effective way to shoot is in between the eyes. At first, it's a pretty low chance, but as your skill with weapons increases, it gets as high as any other body part. Dynamite can be an effective trap. Hide, set the timer, drop that bitch and run. However, if your trap skill is too low, you can set the timer only for 10 seconds to become 1 second because your basement dweller chud Reddit education forgot to add a 0, causing an instant death for you and everyone around you. There are a lot of weapons you can use in the game. However, the most powerful skills have been small guns and energy weapons for me. Small guns gives you access to the skill required for almost every single gun in the game, and one of the most powerful weapons to use before you can even find energy weapons: the BB gun. This is found in a random event in the world. Break into the crackhead car salesman's house, open the crate, and find the BB gun, not the shitty regular one. And trust me, he won't be missing it. Companions. These guys are some of the most helpful, yet unreliable people I have ever seen. One moment you will be sneaking around, initiate combat, and your friend decides fuck optics and charges straight into the front lines, melting almost instantaneously to a roided up super mutant with a room temperature IQ. There's really not much to them. They essentially act as cannon fodder to reduce the impact of a full spread minigun. They can be told to keep close to you and not kamikaze run headfirst into the barrel of a fully loaded shotgun. However, that's where they're most useful. And the dog is just super overpowered. Dog meat cannot be controlled whatsoever. So, unleash Princess onto your worst enemy and watch as he decides to cuddle and befriend and totally not contribute to the violence statistics. In this game, there is no limit to how many companions you can have, so don't be afraid to go absolutely ballistic. Inventory management is exactly what you'd expect for a game in the 90s. Pretty fucking ass. You have a single line to scroll through, and the only way to see weight is to manually inspect each item. In fact, everything in the game, if you want to know more about it, you have to inspect it. There is a perk that allows you to inspect an enemy and see the weapons he uses, but I like to experience a nice family cookout firsthand. The inventory can be used in combat. This is important because once you use action points to open your inventory, you can inject yourself with as many drugs as you'd like with no additional cost. So if you just casually survive a full shotgun blast to the head, you can spam stim packs until the ouchie goes away. A lot of NPC interactions involve the right option and the wrong one. The right option being, yes, I will suck you off and help you with your problem, and the wrong option being, I will sneak into your open door to your room, get caught, and cause genocide. Or just be fucking retarded and make gurgle noises and moo at them. They really don't like it when you do that. Main NPCs are marked very obviously by them being the only ones with moving heads that interact with you, and being mentally stunted brings some of the funniest interactions with them.
Have you found the chip? Oh, that's great. Can I have the chip, please? No, not that. I want the computer chip. No, the chip. Just give me the chip.
Now this game is hard, especially if you have no idea what you're doing, and there's a specific point at the end of the story that spikes exponentially in difficulty. Let me tell you how to single-handedly roll through the entire game like a baller. Head to the Brotherhood and try not to piss them off. They will send you on a special mission to a place called The Glow, and definitely not to get rid of you. The Glow is a highly radioactive research facility destroyed by a direct nuclear strike, so how will you explore it? Drugs. Go to the children's hospital in the hub and steal their Rad-X. 2 is all you'll need. Head to the Glow, take both the Rad-X you have, rope down, take the item the Brotherhood would like, and find the plasma rifle. Go back and prove you went to the Glow and survive. Get initiated and talk with Kyle. He has the power armor and you're gonna want it. Steal the part he needs and repair it. You may be thinking, wow, that's a lot. However, we're just getting started. Go to Boneyard and talk to Miles. He wants you to repair the hydroponic farms. Genocide the Deathclaws camping the parts required for the repairs and bring them back. Miles and Smitty will now upgrade your power armor and plasma rifle, and nothing will stop you. Fallout is a very fun game, and despite its age, still holds up well, even if it's relatively short. And I put maybe 20 hours total in the game to beat it. And that's about all I've got, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.